Hey everyone, it's Steven at Gutter Pop Comics in Buffalo, New York, 1421 Hertel Avenue. It is a little after midnight on Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. So happy new comic book day, everyone. Each week we do a little video where we post our new releases and what we've got going on for our regulars and our mail order customers. And we update our website, gutterpopcomics.com, about a week after we post this video. And so we do that so our regulars and our mail order customers who follow us on social media get first crack at whatever we've got, so they don't have to compete with the whole dang World Wide Web. Everything all of our new books are for sale at gutterpopcomics.com, and we have a sale going on right now where all back issues are buy 5 get 5 free, in addition to our regular buy 2 get 1 free sale. So it's buy 5 get 5 free. All of our graphic novels, I guess, I don't know how to say. So there's a couple different categories on the website, gutterpopcomics.com, and the categories graphic novels, comics history, and small press are 20% off right now. So we'll be doing that for a little while, and in this video we'll be going through the week's new releases. If you're interested in the single issue comics, I suggest following us on Instagram or Facebook, where we will post the complete listing, but we'll just be going through some highlights in this video. All right, thanks so much, y'all. For our self-published and small press comics, we've actually got 2 punk rock adjacent comic books this week. First up, we've got this Misfits bootleg fan comic. You can follow cartoonist_CAC on Instagram, published by Earth AD. Comics limited to 250 copies. So yeah, these will go quick. Misfits fans are pretty rabid. Published in Montreal, so couldn't get a ton of them. Yeah, these promise. Oh, there we go. We got some Glenn and Henry action there. But yeah, it's kind of like a trashy good time for all my Glenn heads out there. My Jerry only men's, my Dooley bros. Next up, we've got Senseless Violence from the UK. Warning, not for the faint of heart. 18 up, adults only. So I was psyched when this guy reached out to me. You can follow P. Court Johnson Comics on Instagram. Shout out the band A&S, Feral Kid Records. So yeah, this looks like a fun kind of just violent dumb fight comic. There we go. Splat just explodes. So yeah, looks awesome. Looks like a totally, I wish this was picking up better, this color of pink. We must not get this in the States at our local Xerox joint. This is like an eyeball scorching pink. So, but yeah, that looks really insane. And then they also publish these kind of trashy anthology zine comics. So who knows how much it costs in real money in United States dollars, but we'll work it out. Figure out what I paid for these, check my email, and yeah. So these look totally crude. Oh man, it sucks to be that guy. That was what I needed to see. My day, I thought my day was not going great, but it could always be worse. Trinkits, number 7. So published by Secret Headquarters in LA, and I think Sammy Harcum. I don't actually know who this who the Commonwealth Comics Co. is, but I think that's just what Sammy Harcum is calling his publishing efforts. I could totally be wrong, so I will just say something. I will just spread more false information on the internet. So this is the second to last. This is like a double-sized issue. It's $12. Sammy Harcum has been working on this story, Blood of the Virgin, for many years now. I read this as soon as I got my grubby little mitts. One of the perks of working at a comic book store is you can read comics before they come out. And so I got to read this cover to cover, and then I read it cover to cover, and then I read it cover to cover, and I just was knocked out by it. It might be my favorite thing Sammy's done so far. I could be wrong, or I may walk that back when everyone on the internet hates it. But no, I was just floored by this. I got to go dig out my copies of Trinkits. And yeah, so this is the penultimate chapter of the Blood of the Virgin storyline. This whole comic is just that. I mean, there's some of the letter printing and stuff at the end. So really knocked out by this one. I would just recommend picking this up, even if you haven't been reading it. I think if it stands alone, I think it just knocked me out. So highly recommend it. Even if maybe you're not a fan of Sammy Harcum, I would recommend this particular issue. But I'm sure they'll collect the whole thing as a trade soon. Out of the old issues of Trinkits are kind of famously hard to find. I think issue 2 is the money one. If you got a copy of issue 2 of Trinkits, come to Gutter Pop Comics at 1421 Hurdle Avenue, and we will buy it from you for I don't know, how's $50 sound? So this was cool. These folks sent us a copy of this back in December, and we embarrassingly did not get back to them for several months because we were so busy. But I read this, and I thought it was really cool. I really liked the watercolor. There's like a wash thing happening. So this is the first chapter of this storyline. I should also say it's like a group of Canadian cartoonists, a group of 7 comics. You can follow them. Yeah, group7.comics.ca. We're going to be getting more stuff from them, but we just picked up this to pitch to our customers. But I like the drawing a lot. I like this wash, and I thought this story was cool. I'm excited to see where they take it. Yeah, maybe for. Yeah, I forget what is this like? I mean, like Rocketeer or something. But what is that called? It's like not steampunk, but whatever that kind of Hellboy, like retro-y, pulpy vibe. But yeah, totally rocks. So psyched to have this in the store. Looking forward to getting more of these. And then lastly, for our small press stuff, from the Mansion Press in France, we've got this Andy Barron comic. It's a collection of shorts. They're all silent, and they're all done in this they're all like this kind of like psychedelic, kind of reminds me of some of those Tommy Matsuri comics, but yeah, really beautiful stuff. Who's that illustrator, like Felix Colgrove? Oh man, I hope I said that right, but I'm a big fan of his, and it kind of reminds me of that too, like animation for sure. I mean, this all feels very like, you can just see that quality, like that animated, like you just feel like the motion and everything. So really, really strange, psychedelic, experimental kind of feeling stuff. I want to believe that this person has no idea who the black symbiote Spider-Man is. Like they're like, what is a Venom or whatever. I don't know anything about this cartoonist. I don't know where they're from. The publisher is based in France, but that doesn't mean. Oh wow, that's like totally stunning. This yeah, so it's got let me just see if I can find, ooh, it gets dark at the end, gets a little rough at the end, but yeah, I'll have to learn more about this cartoonist. Maybe, yeah, really cool. So happy to get those in the shop. And that's all of the small press stuff we have for the shop this week. Not only did I almost miss this like independently released comic book for this section, but I almost missed the third punk rock adjacent comic book this week for us. So I love the Bad Brains homage or like reference. I like the mixed media stuff. So we got like the texture there. I thought that was scratchboard at first, but yeah, this looks like a really fun, like, you know, colorful. Comic book. Jeez Louise. So yeah, pretty cool. Bad Kids Press, check them out. Man, right at the last minute. So let's press on, shall we? For graphic novels and trades this week, we've got Chivalry, a collaboration between Neil Gaiman and Colleen Doran. They recently worked together on Snow Glass Apples. And so over the years, they've been adapting a lot of Neil Gaiman's short stories or just non-comics work into graphic novels and comics. You know, Neil had gotten his start with Sandman, or like most notably, he had done Black Orchid, and I think Miracle Man comes before that, but really quick, it's like, I feel like Colleen, her whole career has been on like this hunk hunt, trying to draw like the most beautiful boy. And I think she may have finally like really nailed it with this King Arthur. Yeah, no, this is a really beautiful looking book. I just think Colleen Doran is so cool. And wow, I love when this opens up and the colors are so great. This kind of reminds me of like J.H. Williams III and the Promethea comic, just a little bit. And I get a little bit of like a Linda Medley vibe, but probably just because it's like the fantasy element, like the classic fantasy stuff. A little bit of Dame Darcy too, just like compositionally, like there's just something about the way. I mean, that's, again, I'm not comparing. Colleen Doran doesn't need to be compared to anyone. I just, it's just in my own brain, I'm like making connections compositionally, like the way that Dame Darcy puts like the non-bordered page together. Again, I mean, not to give you a tour through my own brain, but it's like these photo reference things are kind of making me think of the illustrator Ryan Carroll Nelson, who I'm a big fan of in Washington D.C. I'll link sort of somebody I don't really get to talk to anyone about, so I'll link their Instagram in the show notes. But yeah, really beautiful book. Happy to show that off. Some really cool sketchbook like process stuff in the back. So yeah, awesome. Psyched to have that in the store. Perfect segue into this Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell collab. These have been really popular. I guess also based on a book that Neil Gaiman made about Norse mythology. And P. Craig Russell is just like one of those cartoonists who is just held in such high esteem and has been around for so long. And just when I think I have a handle on all the great drawing they've done, somebody shows me something I've never seen before. So just a highly esteemed cartoonist and a great yeah, like those books are really great. So that's volume 2 of the hardcover. Alice in Leatherland. So this was really charming. This is just like a very nice like romantic comedy kind of. It's like adults only, not super explicit, but definitely not for kids or younger readers. So it's yeah, like if you're a fan of maybe like the kind of erotica, spicy comics that Iron Circus publishes, or kind of it's kind of like in that zone to me, and it's just got like a fun conceit and great drawing, and yeah, so recommended. Alice in Leatherland if you're into kind of like spicy slice of life content, slice of life comics. I thought this was really creative and cool. Secret Passages, 1985 to 86. So we've had some of this cartoonist stuff before, but this one really kind of surprised me. I don't know how to pronounce their name, so I'll be looking that up on YouTube later. But the cartoonist, like, it's like a memoir, and it's like they're like speaking directly to the camera, and there's this kind of like it's like the idea is sort of like going through their childhood and like reinventing it, or like playing with it. Like they come up with this like character, like this twin that yeah, like what does it say? Like, so you're about 50 pages in, maybe thinking, hey, she hasn't even mentioned her cosmic twin from another universe. I want my money back. In a way, my twin is a main character in the story, but he doesn't show up until the 4th grade. So it's this weird, like, it's this like really creative like look at like the way like things shape you in childhood, or like the way media specifically does, and the stuff that yeah, so here are the main things I was scared of in elementary school: monsters, witches, ghosts, spirits. And it's like I don't know, I was just like really blown away by this, and there's just like a lot of really cool ideas. So this one's recommended. Really creative and cool. So yeah, I mean, I think about this all the time. So this kind of hit me of like, I was kind of raised on a kind of homogenous diet of American pop culture, and I always think about what that would be like. I mean, I love the stuff that I love, but it was just so like I don't know, it was sort of like, yeah, I mean, just kind of like the same ideas represented. So I would something I think about too, and I think through like an LGBTQ context, it's also like, media for kids now is like so much better, and there's so much better like representation. And so like for folks who go through like kind of a closeted experience, or it's like very confusing, just having stuff kind of more, hopefully more out in the open as far as our pop culture or whatever. I really hope that's making a difference and making people's lives better and less like, just less painful. So not a great segue. This comic is super violent, like a horror fantasy thing. If me saying like, if you were into like Vertigo comics in like the 90s, this is like recommended for you. It's like a very well drawn, like violent historical fiction horror thing. It's like post Civil War. It's like the Pawnee Nation has been like sort of like driven, like they're conscripted or like they've been given like a set of land to stick to, and like a bunch of horrible shit keeps happening. And yeah, so if you're into like horror, historical fiction, or like I said, like Vertigo comics, or like that kind of like realistically rendered, like kind of gothy, kind of horrific, yeah, like Constantine, Sandman kind of stuff. Better segue, Tales from the Crypt, Volume 2. So they've been reprinting all the EC stuff in these nice, affordable $20 books. And yeah, these are really great. And if you're interested in comics history, or like just cool old gross horror stuff, EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt, we got you covered. Betty and Veronica, the 1960s. So this thematically related in that this is the past, both from the past. This is like a really cool, like looking comic. I've not had the chance to read it, but it's got this like really, it's really violent. So, but it's got this like cool, like loose quality that I really like. And it's like a little hard to follow, but like once your eye adjusts to the weight and the movement, it feels really good. I don't know what to say. Like it's like kind of like early Jeff Lemire, like underwater welder, but like through this like kind of like video gamey, like intense, just like, I don't know, like this more, it's a different, like it's not as contemplative or it's obviously way super violent. So it's Jeff Lemire. I don't know if that's the best thing, but it's just like, yeah, it's got like this really great, there's a GoBots backup story or something. That's hilarious. But yeah, or something. I haven't read this yet, but it's got like this like weird energy that I think is really cool, even if maybe the violence is too extreme or something, but really interesting looking. Forgotten Home. Nice new edition of Forgotten Home. This was, I believe this was originally published by someone else, Erica Schultz, Marika Cresta. Yeah, digital. Okay, so this was a digital thing that I remember people talking about a lot. So cool that it's in so Comixology Originals is Dark Horse's like digital to print thing. But yeah, if you're into like The Wicked and the Divine or like fantasy, like modern fantasy stuff, yeah, that's the joint for you, Forgotten Home. Usagi Yojimbo in color. Love Usagi. I'm going to draw Usagi Yojimbo with like a little piece of toast in his mouth, like run it late to school. Like he's running to get to school and he's like in a hurry and he's tied he's done his ears like into little buns. So that'll be my first foray into like fan art. The Crisis on Infinite Earths. So back in print, or at least just like a nice new edition from DC Comics. This is one of those like famous superhero things where DC tried to like flatten out its continuity after being around for so long. It got mad confusing, and I don't know if this really helped. It sort of maybe posed some questions that I feel like there's some questions I still have after all this, but really dense and beautifully drawn by George Perez. So yeah, that's sort of a famous one back in print. And then I think lastly we've got this Venom hardcover volume 3. So if you've been reading this in this edition, our band Canal is coming. Or Man Canal, I said band. But yeah, that is all of the trades and graphic novels that we've got this week. All right, for our single issue comic books out this week, these are 2 reprints of comics that immediately went out of print. We've got like a first appearance of the Goblin Queen Goblin, and then it's like Black Panther in a red costume. So we had a lot of customers who were interested in reading these but couldn't check them out because of that. So happy to get second printings of that in stock. Marvel's been doing for a while now. They've been like reaching out to like veteran like writers and getting them to kind of revisit characters. And so we've got like David Michelini doing this Venom. So this is like the 90s Venom, the brain-eating Venom we know and love. And this is sort of like the Wolverine like first solo series in Madripoor. I guess ongoing, not the Frank Miller, Chris Claremont Ninja thing, but pardon me, samurai thing. Wolverine is a samurai, not a ninja. But yeah, so that's cool. So it's like a way to like kind of give the people what they bring them back to the comfort zone. Speaking of comfort zone, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have a new horror series along with these fine folks. And so they worked together on like the New 52 Batman, like the Court of Owls, which is like maybe one of the most beloved like modern Batman series. So it's really cool seeing them work together again. People are really excited about that. This is issue 3, but I just wanted to mention like I really like the art in this. Victor Santos Until My Knuckles Bleed. If anyone is interested in kind of like Darwin Cook and the art of Frank Miller, then of like maybe Sin City era Frank Miller, this is recommended for y'all. When the collection comes out, I'm sure we'll have more of those. Nobody watching this has been living under a rock, but Saga is back, and this is the 3rd of the new issues. We're fully stocked on all of them, so you can pick up any of those. Here's a no-brainer. This is, that's really cool. Rita Repulsa, you brat. I thought this was a fun cover for some reason. Who knows why? But what a no-brainer. We've also got, well, I guess I wanted to just, mention I was very happy about the new Ms. Marvel trailer. It looks really good, and I'm just psyched to see something like that, a part of the current pop culture, like she's a great character, and I'm just psyched to see her as part of like the MCU or whatever on the Disney Channel. We still have 2 of these Jen Bartel prints, so you should buy those. They're $10, and Ms. Marvel's rad. It would look great wherever you are. So I've got a couple things I am going to flip through really quick. So there's this new Wonder Girl Trial of the Amazon comic, and the art is very, very good. So it's great art direction, color. Oh man, these. But yeah, Wonder Girl is a great. She's like a really cool new character, and man, I'm such a dum-dum. It's like I always am looking for the credits in the wrong spot for DC books. I still cannot be trained, but Joelle Jones, script and art, and then Jordi Belair, colorist. So really blown away by that just looks like a great new series. I've lost my spot of where to go. Well, I should have done this before I started flipping through stuff, but there is a new Trinkits issue number 7, but I did a flip through in the small press self-published section. So several years in the wait, double issue. This is the penultimate chapter in the Blood of the Virgin storyline. So highly recommended, but check out my, if you skipped ahead or only watching this part, I do a flip through if that looks like something you're interested in or whatever. So this looks really cool, Ghost Cage. I love it when major publishers do black and white comics. Black and white comics are really important to me. When I would read full color superhero, Marvel, whatever comics when I was a kid, it just seemed so impossible, I could never do that. It just didn't inspire me to draw. And then seeing black and white comics, I could emulate it better, and I just love black and white comics. I know not everyone does, but this looks like a really great kaiju monster thing. And there were some really great, I'm actually looking at the clock and not thinking of, there were some really great scale things. So I like this but then I really liked, this is the body of the thing from maybe our view, I just think that extremely rules. And then all the way there. So really sells you on how intense these things are. But yeah, cool looking new kaiju big monster comic, Ghost Cage number 1. Very cool. This series is coming to a close, which is again why I shouldn't really be showing it off. But we're fully stocked on all of it. Oh no, we got one more. So another penultimate issue. So for some reason I thought this was the final one, but really awesome art and production by Jim Mathews, as always. And yeah, this series in general is really creative and does really cool things with like just color palette and yeah, so really always cool to see one of those. Got another Peach Momoko comic for Marvel Comics. She's a really awesome Japanese illustrator and cartoonist. I first became aware of her stuff when my buddy Derek came back from Japan and brought me a split like comic that she did with Shintaro Kago. So that's pretty cool. So shout out Derek, thank you Derek. But yeah, this looks great. I mean, yeah, I really love her comics and drawing. She's so good. The major criticism of those has just been like, it feels like she had to like do a little bit of like hand-wringing to like make them work as Marvel comics, but just like on their own, they're like really, really good. So this is like a new DC comic, but drawn by, I can't pronounce it, but Leomix. So really amazing cartoonist. And this is like, I think it's like Captain Cold or something. It's like the Flash villain, but it's like in this like really cool like noir thing. So looks really awesome, like really great. Wow, yeah, looks really awesome. So just from a drawing perspective, looks fun. Rogues. Got two more. Again, this is issue 6, but I just think that like Greg Smallwood is currently maybe the like illustrator to beat, and I just was really, really impressed with all of these all the like modeling and just like the vibe and the color palette. So yeah, really great. Wow. Damn, spoiler, shit. Well, I goofed up, y'all. And then I actually tacked this on at the end of the small press stuff. But this is a new comic that was solicited through Diamond that's out this week. And so in addition to Trinkits, this is like kind of like maybe crossover appeal. So yeah, Young Punks Unleashed, Frankenrocker and the Jailbait Punks. Awesome. We'll leave it there. For manga and Japanese comics, some of our books showed up a little late last week, and so it missed the video. But we don't carry a lot of coloring books, but we got to make an exception for our man Junji here. So these are like just I think panels from the comic just kind of blown up in a way. So kind of cool. It's just like an art book. You get like some of the iconic images. So yeah, it's like, I mean, they could have marketed this to me in a different way by just like calling it like something cooler. But yeah, really great seeing his work blown up. Man, it makes me think if we'll ever get like an artist edition or like, some kind of like really, really cool treatment of his work. So that was cool to get finally. But this week, pretty pretty excited about a new edition of Blue Giant. Been reading this. It's about some Japanese jazz bows. So, hell yes. So this is what it means to be a pro. Yeah, you know, it's like, even if, you know, you could, you know, I know a lot of folks, they hate the yaz, but just sort of like, you know, you don't have to hear, like there's no sound coming out of this, so you can like focus more on like what drives the characters and like the passion and just sort of the, yeah, I don't know. I was really moved, been really enjoying this one, so yeah. Yeah, not for everybody, but kind of in the same vein, I got to catch up on this one, but this is like about, it's like a high school student who's like becoming an artist, and yeah, it's really cool. I really like the drawing in general, but there we go. I like this stuff where it shows the like mixed media or like, yeah, like just like, but yeah, it's again, it's like kind of like about passion and finding, you know, like muse and yeah, really beautiful stuff. Well, so this came in late. This was another one that we got like after the buzzer. So this is a volume 1. Seems like it's picking up a little bit of steam. There's your splash page to use a Western comics. Is that an idiom? Just vernacular. Yeah, this looks cool. Haven't read it yet. I meant to read it. I've got some like soybeans that I'm gonna eat. Just dry soybeans. That's my that's how I'm living. It's got like protein, fiber, no sugar. They taste like terrible, but you know, they're like salted, I think. A little too crunchy. I find it like distracting to try and read and eat crunchy stuff. I've been eating like grape nuts cereal. I used to watch like I feel like my grandfather would just eat that stuff. I think he'd put sugar on top of it. He'd always like kind of like take a little spoonful of sugar and kind of like sift it over. I suppose he's not sifting it, but you know what I mean? He's just kind of like layered it on top of his like grape nuts and raisin bran and stuff. Don't know why I flipped through volume 26 of Fire Force, but it's out today. Read volumes 1 through 25 first. I was told recently, I've never read Soul Eater, but to check this one out. So if I could maybe skip that one, go right to the Fire Force. Heard it's good. Attack on Titan, I believe. These are just reprints. It's like 3-in-1 volumes. So if you now that this series is over, and you're thinking like maybe you'll give it a read, this is a very nice, manageable way to collect this series. The paper quality it's still on like that like newsprint, but it's just like a little bigger, I think. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just like a little nicer, like the gray value really kind of pops on this. So yeah, so that's the new one of those, and I think that's all the manga. You know, I did want to, so last week we got this in, What a hoot. What a charming little brat. He's a gets into some shenanigans, this penguin. So yeah, I think I showed this off last week in the kids section and meant to put it in both. I need to learn what this is called, like the kind of traditional, like I wonder if there's a name like in Japan, like for just like those kind of strips or whatever. Maybe I'll just have it in the back. Kind of killing time, I feel like. I should probably just press on. Just having fun flipping. All right, thanks y'all. Yeah, no, this is hilarious and great. Get it. All right, for our kids comics, we've got Pacey Packer Unicorn Tracker Volume 3. This one's been selling pretty well for us, so I think you'll be able to tell from a little flip through if you're a young person, if this would appeal to them. But yeah, fun adventure comics, Pacey Packer Unicorn Tracker. We've got the other ones in stock. This is sort of a big series, Space Boy. They're now coming out in these omnibus editions, which are 3 volumes in one. So this is volumes 4, 5, and 6. I don't know, we didn't have a lot of luck with these. I think that the single volumes are just what kids like to collect, kind of like, you know, Bone, Amulet, Dogman, or whatever. So they like to get the individual volumes. But really, really love the drawing. Fun adventure stuff. Steve McCraney's Space Boy. Who recommends Space Boy? Fanbase Press. Highly recommends that. Godzilla for children. So a fun, colorful Godzilla comic. Not seeing a ton of our boy. Oh, there's Mothra. That's always good. All right. Well, maybe they save him for the end. Yeah, I think the monster fights happen closer to the end. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. And then lastly, I like that Marvel publishes these so regularly, but I am a little bit of a broken record where, so this is part of Marvel's Marvelverse line, where they take selections from all their comics and kind of like do a little sampler's plate for maybe kids who are interested in the character. I know she's in like the new Doctor Strange trailer or something. So yeah, cool character, and this is like a little primer. It's $10, a little $10 primer for America Chavez. So that is all the kids comics for this week. All right, thanks so much for hanging out, y'all. Really appreciate it. I'm just hanging out with my 2 best buds in the whole world, Toxic Springtrap and the Mothman. We've got some big announcements coming in the next week or two. We're not quite ready yet to announce them, but we'll have like free comic book day news, some artist signings, and some new updates to Gutter Pop Comics. We're going to be updating our the way we do subscriptions, and we're going to be changing some of the website features and just upgrading in general. So very, very excited. We've been working really hard. I've been working really hard, just doing a bunch of back-end paperwork stuff. So really looking forward to like getting back in the store more regularly and just like, selling comics to y'all. So really appreciate it. All right, talk to you later. Take care. Bye.